Hey, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Erin Juliana. This is my channel. So today I'm going to be talking to you about different ways that you can express yourself creatively. I'm a content creator, and one of the ways that I do create content is writing. So I'm always writing in my journal, and sometimes I write some really good things and I go back and I read and I'm like, damn, I need to share this with somebody. So earlier this year, I was introduced to something so amazing and so cool that allows people to publish their thoughts, their creations in a simple concept, and it is called a zine. A zine. So a zine is a self-published book that you create yourself. And usually you just put it together with several pieces of paper and a stapler. I was hanging out with a friend and we went to the LA book fair, and I seen all these books I seen all these zines, and I'm like, whoa, let me look into zines and see like what they're all about, like what's it all about. So it just so happened that following month the Zine Fest was coming up, so I'm like, okay, this will give me a chance to go and see firsthand like what it's about. And there was so many different people there, and they had booths set up and tables, and they just had all these different kind of zines that they created. So one of the zines that I got was, of course, the Prince zine. Yeah. This was like a really cool zine. This was more of like illustrations. It didn't have necessarily words, but it had a lot of pictures. So with zines, they're just, okay, this is my latest zine. I have to give a shout out to the Essential Man, Lorenzo, and the Simple Things. This is my latest zine that I have, the Simple Things, the zine. And it's just a really cool concept about all the simple things that brings the author joy. So that's my zine collection, and you can guess it, I'm coming up with my own zine. So pretty much what this zine is just expressing who I am, who is she. And some of the works are straight out of my journal, and then some of the poems are poems that I created. So let me go back and give you a little backdrop about how I chose what zine I would create. So like I said, I had been writing I write in my journal a lot. So at the beginning of this year, I had wrote in my journal, and I was saying that I wanted intimacy. I didn't just want something physical. I had been fucked before, and I had been fucked over, and I just wanted something more. Like, I needed to know, like, okay, I need something more. I need this to be more than just a desire for my body. I need this to just be more than a desire to just be with me. It needed to be something real. So I'm like, okay, I wrote in my journal, I want intimacy. This year, I want intimacy. I want somebody to get the chance to get to know me. I wanted to be more open and more vulnerable. I wanted to express myself and not feel like I was being judged, or not feel like this wasn't the kind of relationship where I could express who I was. Because, you know, sometimes you do end up in those kind of relationships, and not an exclusive relationship, but any kind of interaction that you have with somebody is considered a relationship. So, you know, some of those relationships, and it's just strictly physical. You don't talk. You talk through actions, and I didn't want that anymore. I wanted something more. I wanted something real. I wanted somebody that I could share my dreams with and my feelings with, and I wanted it to be reciprocated. I wanted them to value my opinion, to value my presence in their life. So I was going through a point where I needed a pick-me-up. I needed something. I was kind of like in a shitty place. So one of my friends, Chris, and he's a great poet, I reached out to him and I'm just like, hey, I'm feeling some kind of way, and I would love if you will write me a piece, like write me a poem and kind of just get me back to where I need to be. So he wrote me a poem, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. And I was just like, wow, this is what I needed. And it's just something happens when you see how other people see you, and you see yourself through other people's eyes, and it was what I needed. So he ends up writing me another poem, And I'm just like, okay, this is really fucking cool. Like, the second one was a real shock. And I'm just like, damn, this is nice. So his birthday came up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just write him a poem. So it really was just, I had my phone in my hand. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write him a poem. So I'm on my notes and I'm going. And the words are just like flowing like water. And it was just so organic and just, I was so vulnerable. And it was just so real. So I read it back and I sent it to him, and I'm like, damn, I'm nice with the words. This sounds good. So I had shared it with some of my friends, like, okay, this guy had wrote me a poem and I wrote him one back, and here's my poem. Like, what do you think about it? And they was like, damn, that sounds good. That's nice. So I told him, I was like, hey, you know, I challenge you to put together a poem, put together a zine, and just write however you're feeling and put it in a zine. Because it's like when I learn about something new, I just get really excited and I want to share with everybody. So I'm telling everybody, like, have you heard of Zine? Have you heard of Zine? Because I was just so excited about it. So I'm like, hey, I think that you should do a zine. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe we could do something different to where we could do a collab, and it would be a modern day Love Jones, and we would write poems back and forth to each other. So he was like, okay, I like that idea. I like that idea. He's like, but wait a minute. I want to do you one better. I want to write you 30 poems in 30 days, or either just 30 poems straight. And I was just like, whoa, like, you want to write poems about me? 30 of them? Okay. So he would write poems, he would write words to me, and they would just, it was just like, damn, we were like, what I had wrote in my journal, I wanted to be intimate, it was coming true.